introduce a student app, which is called Reach. And we'll let them explain exactly how it works, how you guys can participate, and of course, we'll have questions that follow. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the Reach application? Come step.
Got a mic right here. How you doing? I'm Eugene Collins. I'm the CEO of Reach. I'm a University of Houston grad, spring 2013, and we're here to present to Reach.
My name is Rudy Southern. I am a junior here at Texas Southern University, majoring in finance, and I am the co-founder of Reach.
My name is Neiman Samuel. I am a 22-year-old junior at Sam Houston State University, and I am the founder of Reach, and together we are the Reach team. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys a story. Before I start, what's your favorite artist?
My favorite artist?
Favorite musician?
J. Cole.
J. Cole. Okay, perfect. Now I'll get into my story. My uncle is actually the founder and the CEO of one of the largest record labels here in Houston. His name is James Prince, Rappalot Records. And I was with him one day at his record label, and a guy came up to him and said, "Hey, Jay, I'm the next big thing. Can you sign me? You know, I just need a chance to get my music heard."
Talking to it normally, just open.
Okay.
There you go.
And you know, he took the guy's mixtape, you know, very respectably. When we left, he put the CD in his deck, and he switched through the songs real fast. Didn't even listen to 30 seconds to each song, just boom, 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 boom. And then threw the mixtape in the back. Never talked to him again, never brought the guy up again. And that's a problem. When you have individuals and corporations that are controlling the exposure of music, that guy felt that my uncle could give him the exposure he needed to the point that he didn't even pitch to the rest of us that were there. So, we came up with an idea to let the listeners, like me and you all in this audience, form the next J. Cole's, the next Drake's, the next Taylor Swift's, the next Beyonce's. And with that idea formed Reach. That's our logo right there. You can go to the next slide. This is our login page. We're very accessible. That's the key, accessibility, because people don't want to have to go through channels to find music. They want it easy. So, you know, you can log in with your Gmail, your Google Plus account, your Instagram, your Facebook, your Twitter, or you can create your own username. And that's a slide you see there. You go to the next one. The basis of this is, like I said, accessibility. We don't have many buttons. We don't have, you know, things for comments, because I feel like people leave negative comments, and all we want is positivity. So we have 6 easy tabs. You access the tabs by pressing the little R at the top right. The home, of course, is home. That's where the people that you follow, the artists you love, like, let's say J. Cole, Drake, you know, Beyonce, for example. They all, if you follow them, that's where they'll be. That bell to the right is where your notifications. So if you post a music clip, because everybody loves music, I didn't mention that it's accessible for everybody. So I'm not a musician myself, but if I'm listening to a song that I say, I want to share, I can easily share a clip of that song. The binoculars are the discover mode. The discover mode is the basis of this. The way the discover mode works is a musician puts their sweet spot. Well, sweet spot is the attention getter of the song. And we send it to random people across the world who has the app that likes that genre as well. The little guy right there, I don't even know what you call him, but that's a profile, you know, your profile, so you can check your clips. The rocket is how you post, and the music, the little music symbol, is your playlist. Because we feel like music should be accessible. It shouldn't be charged. You shouldn't be charged to have to listen to music. That's just an example of your profile. This is all rough. This is all rough, by the way. This is the discover. If you notice, there is no buttons. All you do is you press the clip art, the song starts playing. If you like the song, you swipe to the right, and we'll send it to the next person. And the more likes you get, the more people we send it to. It's like a snowball effect. Swipe it to the left if you don't like it. I'll let Eugene Collins explain these.
Also, taking to the fact, even if it gets swiped to the left by any individual, it's still gonna get shared. We're working on an algorithm to where everybody will get their stuff shared through each individual, where it be shared 2 to 4 times if somebody likes it, 1 to 2 times if somebody doesn't like it. What we have here is just a few different statistics about, the people who are producing music and artists getting signed, nationally producing their albums and whatnot, just basically where the focus is coming. This app right here, what we're trying to create, is something for everyone. It's not just for hip hop, it's not just for rock, it's not for country. What we're trying to do is create an avenue for artists, for anyone, because everyone in here knows someone that likes music, that is trying to maybe become an artist and doesn't know who to reach out to or how to reach out to someone, but they're just trying to get into the ball game. So what we're doing is we're trying to create a fluid app, so any individual who can post their own music, their own clips, and just share that with individuals. And the more people that use it, of course, the more your music will get spread. Right here is just a few different statistics as well. $4.3 billion of record company revenues invest in A&R and marketing. Okay, and that's the market that we're targeting, is to make that also easy accessible within these individuals. Yeah, it is.
Kind of took my shine.
Yeah, I'm kind of stealing his shine. So we'll let Rudy take over a little bit here.
First of all, how y'all doing? Y'all kind of boring right now. Y'all ain't really interactive. So, Mr. Norris, let me ask you a question. Is $4.3 billion a lot of money?
Barely. Supporting who you ask.
Well, let me ask you another question. This will be my last question. I don't want to, where does that money go, and who keeps that money?
For making the record.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Majority of it goes to record.
It goes to record labels. Is there any help for the unsigned artists with that money?
No, he gotta get it out the mud.
He got to get out the mud, but who is there to help that individual?
Should be his manager.
It should be his manager, right? Well, what we're trying to do is basically make this a one-stop shop for you. So what we want you to do is, first of all, let me make it clear, the app is free. The app is free for all users and artists. Number one, the reason why it's free for users is because you should not have to pay to discover new music. You should not have to pay to listen to new music. You should not have to pay to shape new music. Because after all, we do shape music in a way. And for the artists, it's the same thing. You should not have to pay to get your music discovered. You should not have to pay to have people listen to your music. And you should not have to pay to get your music shaped. Because what we feel is the power of shaping and making these stars has been taken out of your hands, out of the people's hands. Now we giving it to the corporations, and that's not how things should go. So you should be able to make the next J. Cole, the next Drake, the next Beyonce, the next, shoot, if you want to be a Taylor Swift, you should be able to make it. And basically, how we go about making money is, oh, you can hit the, oh. Okay, but how we go about making money is, he getting me. All right, but how we go about making money is, like I said, everything is free, and we go to these record labels and we go about advertisement. With these record labels, what we do is we say, all right, this individual has been making the most noise on our app. Give him a shot, basically. So.
Wrap up, kind of. That's it.
Do we have any questions? It's kind of a wrap. We on a limited time slot, and we can't really give y'all everything. We also had to change our whole presentation like 3 minutes ago, so go ahead, man.
All right, so basically y'all, this is the A&R app? That's basically what you call
No,
it?
it's not just an A&R app, it's for everyone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though, that's what you basically just said. You said you pitched it to the label, pitch the new artists to the label.
He was saying that for, I didn't mean to interrupt you. He was saying that for revenue. He's saying that we feel like you shouldn't go to an artist and pay for loops on the radio or pay things like that. We go to A&Rs and say, or record labels and say, hey, this artist is trending. This how many people are listening to his music right now over there, wherever.
He's got one.
You pay us for that.
Okay. So how do you invest into this app?
As in, if you want to
As
like
money. Like I want to invest into it.
oh, like A&Rs or
No, just invest my money into this app.
oh, you have to. Oh, you want to be a shareholder? Okay, you have to set up a meeting and then we'll just discuss that later on.
Did you guys develop the app yourself, or did you have a development team?
I came up with the idea for the app, and I'm not tech savvy at all. So what I did is I hounded my school campus until I pretty much found developers, and they developed it for me.
So some kids from Sam Houston developed the app,
Yes, sir.
or young people from. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what make this app different than something like live mixtapes, spin the reel up, you know, all the apps that these kids are already going to find these new artists? What makes this different?
Thing about that is, those they don't promote your music for you well. So they don't share. Yeah, like he said, they don't share your music. If I'm sitting here and I'm an average Joe, I've never heard of spin reel. It's so many different avenues. You never know where I'm gonna end up. If I come to this one home basis, I like this. I swipe it. This might send it to China. This
So
might
you-
send it to because this is what's the word? Global. It is global. So this might send it to China because in China they do like hip hop. Anywhere that they like hip hop,
So you're gonna do the work for the artist.
I do all the work for the artist.
So what the artist gonna do?
Make good music.
Okay. Okay.
So, what percentage of the company do you guys own?
I'm sorry. What's that?
What percentage of this company do you own? Do you own 100% of it?
100%. Yes, sir.
Are you willing to sell it?
So the entire company?
Yeah.
No, sir. I'm willing to grow.
What is it valued at?
We received a value from a smaller tech company. I don't really want to say out loud. I
I
really
thought we were Shark Tank.
I really
I'm Mr.
want-
Wonderful. Hell, I'm Mr. Wonderful. I'm here to make money.
Okay.
Ballpark, just give a ballpark,
Ballpark,
a ballpark estimate.
$2 million.
You're out your mind.
Well, you know, I don't.
Does anybody have any more questions? We need some.
I'm pretty loud, guys. I'm sorry. But I actually thought you guys' whole concept was really, really good. But I think that you guys need a creative director. And I'm very creative, by the way, but that's neither here nor there. But, thank you. But what I was actually going to say, me personally, what I think that goes wrong with artists nowadays is that I don't think they work hard enough. So I think it's I think you guys are giving them a shortcut for allowing them to be lazy. So I think that right now, actually, I was going to ask that later, but I'm going to ask you guys, what gives you the strength to give another artist strength? Because I don't think that we want any weak artists anymore, because we have a lot of them. So
And that's the thing. And I feel like that problem right there is because music is so disposable. So many people can easily create I can pull out my iPhone right now and create a song. Honestly, the thing is, I don't want to cripple an artist by making him lazy. I want to give the artist that's great, the J. Cole that's in nowhere, Texas, the Drake that's in Tallahassee, Tennessee, that nobody's heard of, an avenue, because he has no connections. He has no money. All he has is a vision and an art.
well, I have an artist for you, but that's neither here nor there.
Excuse me. So does your app like basically tell the artist the demographics or like who actually likes them? So like if everybody in Texas but you're from California but everybody in Texas likes you, will your app like basically show that?
It sure will, because that's your target. Of course, if you're in California but you're trending in Texas, well, that shows you, okay, I can make money in Texas. Maybe I should go down there and do a tour. Maybe things like that. But it will tell you.
So will your app kind of help artists tour as well? So like set up shows for artists in the states that they're trending? Or is that an idea that you guys kind of?
That's the idea I like. I like that.
I know Rudy. I'm coming for my money. And William's writing up the contract.
How you doing? I don't have a question, but I would like to say thank you for young black men deciding to do something else besides be a rapper or a basketball player or NFL and tapping into the business side. Thank you for doing something. Standing up here in these suits, you look great. Thank you for getting into the business. Thank you for seeing entertainment on a broader scope and not allowing somebody else to make a profit off this right here. So I wish you the best success. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
When will we be able to start using the app?
What we're doing right now, we're in the process of getting everything coded, all our ideas and things like that. That's why we have the contact us page. I've already started between various artists that some of y'all would know and different A&Rs through just hanging out with some of our peers. And what we're doing is we're compiling like a whole email list of individuals, right? And we're kind of going to give you an Eventbrite date of when it's going to launch, for you to go ahead and use the beta version, play with it, tell us what you don't like, what you do like, just overall feedback. Then after we do that, we go through that initial phase, we'll have our final version of what the app will be, and then after that, it's going to launch, and we'll just let everyone know when that'll launch then.
One more question. How else are you marketing this app? If we didn't have our communications week today, how would we find out about it?
The app itself is fairly new still. We're only like a month and a half within our whole process, but on the ground, just speaking with people, music festivals, which a lot of those are going on this whole summer, from Warped Tour on down to Essence Festival. I'm just going to be everywhere personally with a few other people, and we're pushing it. I also know different guys, like younger guys in Cali and New York, who are kind of helping me out. I'm also getting into production and tour management, so like I have like a lot of different mentors to get a hold of different artists and things like that. Like we all bring something different because, like I said, I'm getting into that. Of course, Mr. Prince is kind of helping us out, and he just wants us to draw it up right, and we're going to go from there because he wants us to put our best foot forward. Even with today, we kind of got caught on the whim because we didn't know what exactly that we should have presented, and we didn't want to reveal too much. But like he said earlier, this is just kind of a rough out of pictures of which direction we want to go. So today is more of our first, I would guess you would say, public feedback initiative, and we're going from there.
Good job, guys. I'll give them a round of applause.
My question is, are you guys concerned at all, since it isn't official, that you guys doing these, speeches?
That's what our main issue was today, because initially we had basically nothing up there, and we kind of wanted to go with just a whole back and forth feedback or whatever on a particular idea. Because even Kiki, for instance, imagine if you weren't out pushing everything back in the day or whatever, how would you get your name out there? You know what I'm saying? So we just trying to create that kind of avenue for individuals where you say, oh, well, I got SoundCloud, or I got this website, I got that website. Okay, SoundCloud app and the computer version are two different things. It doesn't even spread it for you. So what we're doing is we're taking something like that and we're creating a whole nother niche.
No, I think he misunderstood my question.
Were you asking, like, if somebody steals the idea?
Exactly, yeah.
Honestly, we walk on faith. I do. So
Right.
if they take it, best of luck to them. But the thing is, there's competition out there. No matter what you do, you're gonna have competitors.
And plus, we're gonna make the transition. The guys did a great job, and we're gonna make the transition. Good job, guys. We're gonna make the transition into having the panelists back up there. But to answer that question, can somebody take it from a legal perspective? Yes. And owner. Yeah, you have to copyright it, but ownership is important. But at the same time, these guys are pitching an idea, and they're doing a great job. But we're going to talk about those different issues because we're going to go into Q&A. Listen up. We're going to go into a Q&A with the original panelists, okay? We're going to go into a Q&A in this next phase of the panel, having success in the music business. experience matters. We're going to get the chairs back up here. I hope there's not too much moving around, but I think you guys would be better off back on the stage, actually, facing the crowd.
One last, just tell me the email there if they want to get the initial. Excuse me, one last thing. If you wouldn't mind emailing at officialreachmovement@gmail.com if you'd like to get a version of the first beta version of the app, I really appreciate that.
Now we're about to get the Q&A going. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Hey, good job. Good job. Good job. Here's a card to help out with maybe some, just talk about some issues of ownership and things like that. Yes, sir. I'm a lawyer too, so no problem. Y'all gonna be all right. Y'all great. Y'all got the contacts, and you get the ownership in place and stuff, and your copyright. Y'all ready to go.
They done. They not screaming right now. Are they screaming?
Huh?
Are they screaming right now?
No. Check one. Yeah, I think so.
Any showcase artists in here, please? I have your scorecards over here. Your scorecards are over here. If you're still in here.
And the diamond is outside.
Just tell me when they're going back. Let me try to hand out these scorecards.
Keep it moving. Hey, listen, guys, listen. We're going to jump right into things. We're going to jump right back into things with the original panel, which is having success in the music business. Experience matters. This is for the students of Texas Southern University and School of Communication, and in general for that matter. This is a treat for you, okay? This is a treat for you. This is time for you to get those questions answered that you have about your personal career or about embarking on, the business itself. Any kind of issues, star questions, celebrity questions. This is a golden opportunity for you guys to ask the questions, because I don't know when this opportunity is going to present itself again, okay? So take it serious, and we're going to have microphones getting passed back and forth to answer these questions. But now, let's start right here with any questions that you have pertaining to the business, and just raise your hand, and we're going to try to keep this as orderly as possible. Okay, we're going to start right here, convenience sake.
Hi, how are you doing? My name is Amanda Roper. I'm a radio, television, and film major with a minor in business administration. I graduate in May, and I'm actually going to get my MBA. I want to speak on what Matthew Knowles spoke about, not having, I guess, executives in the industry that are, that support. We have, artists that out there that show our music, but we don't have the people behind them, I guess, in the executive positions. So how do we get in those positions? Because applying online and all this other stuff and trying to go out there and meet people is not working. So how do we do that? What do we do to get into those positions?
She's going to pass you guys a mic. Y'all can pass that one back and forth.
Oh, go ahead. You got to get up and go where they are. I mean, it's very few of those executives in Houston that can do it. I started working for Fubu when I was like 17, and I'm showing my age here. Before Google, I had to call 1411. Can I have the number to Fubu in New York? They gave me the number, 212-273-3300. I called the office, told them who I was, what I was doing. It was for the Kappa Beach Party. Showing my age again, huh? And they didn't believe me. So I sent them a bunch of pictures, flyers, showing them this is what we got going on in Texas, 200,000 black college students. I ended up getting them booked at the Kappa Beach Party, and they was charging $5,000. I charged the Kappa Beach Party $7,500. And I made money at like 17 years old off that venture. And the Damon John, who's now on Shark Tank, that next week, he flew me up to New York and they hired me. You gotta be aggressive and go to where they at. You can sit here making phone calls and emails, I ain't gonna do nothing. This summer, go to New York, go to LA. The offices and people you wanna work for, go knock on the door. Worst case scenario, they tell you no, and then ask them why.
Good job. We have another question.
I just want to add to that. And the key again is it starts here, and it starts here because we are growing this program. So it starts in the classroom, getting the degree for knowledge. First, you need the knowledge. Then you do all those other things. Let me share a quick story with you. When I was at Xerox, and I was the #1 sales rep in the world for a number of years, our branch manager used to come in at 6:30 in the morning. I was a young kid. I was like 27. I knew he came in at 6:30. I used to come in at 6:15 and take the Wall Street Journal because I knew he read the Wall Street Journal. After about a week, he looked around in the cubby holes to see who had his Wall Street Journal. He says, "Nose, why do you have my Wall Street Journal?" I said, "Because I want to make this easy for you and read it for you and tell you all the things that you need to know so you don't have to read the whole thing." I'm only telling you that story. You have to be creative about this, man. No, you have to get people's attention by being creative. And that does mean going to New York. It does mean going to LA and Atlanta. But there's some folks even here in Houston that you can get opportunities. They're all over, but you're waiting on them to come to you, and that's not going to happen. You have to come to them. And you have to hear no, and you're going to hear no, and try to do it a different way. I always said, when you tell me no, I just didn't present it the right way. That means I got to go back and say that same thing a different way to get your attention. It's like I tell my students, I'm bad with names. Now, if a professor told you that, I wish my students would come to class and have their name written on their T-shirt or on their hat, but nobody gets creative. Where's the creativity?
Great job, great job. We had one more, right? We're gonna start right here, and then we're gonna come back to you, okay? And we'll pass this microphone. Actually, we'll leave this up on the panel, and we'll get to you from over there. Here you go.
Did you have a question? I passed it on to somebody else.
Was it someone else? Oh, you had it. Okay, go ahead.
Check.
Okay. My name is Andre Burrell, by the way. As an artist, I've, looked into the music industry for a while now, and I feel like the balance in the music industry is off. When I say that, I mean everybody wants to be a thug. Everybody wants to sell drugs. Everybody wants to not love a woman. And I understand this may be some people's story, but like, as we all heard in the last session, that's only one side of the story. And as somebody that believes in telling the other side of the story, number one, do y'all believe that the music industry needs a change? And if so, how do you feel like an artist should go about doing that? Do you feel like it's possible to make that change and tell people you can love a woman again? You don't have to be a thug to be a black artist. It's real. I want to challenge you, because at the end of the day, if they can hear it from you, they can hear it from anybody, right?
Well, this is what I do. This how I kind of explain this same thing to gospel artists. I'm not telling you, this may sound brash, you might not like the same way you being straight up, I'm gonna be straight up. I tell gospel artists that I'm not telling you that it won't work. I'm just telling you I don't know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? So you want me to be truthful and honest, I kind of, even with my artists, I have to, at the end of the day, like the panelists that were just up, they were explaining everything to do, and we were whispering inside to each other, they're going to take all the money out the game. You know what I'm saying? We just whisper. The thing is, it's all about, some people do this for love, some people do it for professionalism, some people do it. I actually live off this. This is how I feed my kids, this is how my son's going to college, this is how I pay my bills, this is what I do. So to make a long story short, I'm at a point in my career where I do this for money. It's a career, it's for me to advance. So me, yeah, it's an opportunity, it's a lane, we call that a lane. It's a lane for that. It's just all about finding the person that's in that particular lane that can guide you and show you to go that way. Me, I'm not in that lane. You know what I'm saying? So I tell gospel artists all the time, I can switch up. I go do gospel songs. I know how to not use profanity, and I go to church and I do gospel songs. But when they ask me to sign them, I tell them I'm not the right guy for that, because I'm not in that particular field. Now, that doesn't mean that I only sign people that do what I do, but if I honestly really feel like I can't help you in that field and I can't concentrate on it and go that route with you, then I'm not going to sit up and lie to you, because the worst thing you can do to an artist is continue to lead him on. You know what I'm saying? They're going to keep on waking up asking you every day, what's up, what we going to do? So me, the best thing to do about that type of music and you want to go in that lane is find somebody in that. That's like, for instance, I'm not in the R&B that big, so that's not mean I don't want a part of it. I may have to call Matthew Knowles or somebody that's in that particular field to give me the ideas. So yeah, it can work if you find somebody, but I'm not in that lane, so I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? How to get to that type of money, because that ain't the type of money that I get to. You know what I'm saying? So it's just,
Yeah, just real quick. I know one thing. A lot of people feel like the sound, like right now, what's going on with music. A lot of people feel like the substance ain't there anymore, and it's, you know, it is deteriorating. I think some of it had to do with artists not having a strategic sense of knowing what they're doing. They're just making music. Everybody making music, they're just making anything. And if you develop a fan base and you know who you make your music for and they appreciate your music and you're loyal to that fan base, then it'll give you a sense of direction. You don't have to do anything. You got to do things that mean something to people. I talked about it before. They talk about passion and they talk about purpose. There should be some purpose in your music. One of the best things that I love right now is like when I see, you know, some of the people from the older era that saw some of the little independent films we did or listen to music and they say, man, y'all got me through that, or that music y'all made affected me a certain type of way. That means more than just ending up, you know, some big time artist with a major deal. So if it's something that's sincere in you, you know, like Kiki and them, that they weren't just making no music. You have some people came behind them that started just making music because that was the trend. But I know myself, they was living that. Yeah. They lived that. You know, you had other artists rapping and saying, hold up, all that. Kiki talk like that. Y'all done heard him in here today, all day long. Yeah. So Pat wasn't trying to do no lingo. Pat and me discussed the direction for his project, and he was, man, I'm on some Biggie shit. It's just that when he spit like Biggie, the lingo where it came from, when he came out, Southside type player. And my point is, too many people are being copycats and not afraid to jump out there and transcend the music in a different direction.
And to keep going on what you're saying, two things. One, like my wife is from Dallas. She has no clue. Well, she didn't know what swangers, belts and buckles, woman and girl, sitting on bucks. She didn't know what none of that meant. So when we ride and listening to Kiki, I'm teaching her. Well, say, baby, this means this, and this is how your ribs look. This. So it was really authentic. It was them. So when you say you don't do a certain type of music, well, okay, I gotta watch my mouth, but the stuff that you're talking about that's out there, it's not selling. Look at the charts. B.O.B. ain't doing that. Lupe Fiasco ain't doing it. Flo Rida ain't doing it. They're selling records. What you're hearing in the club, unfortunately, that's why you don't see them at the Grammys. You don't see them at the MTV Awards. You see them at the BET Awards. That's like Little League football. Everybody get a trophy for playing. But when you look at the charts and who's actually selling records and making money, they're not doing it. They're not turned. Drake ain't turned. They not bad, whatever, and popping Molly and doing all of that. They're not doing that. So 13 to 24-year-old white girls bought a majority of our records. When retail was hot, Best Buy was the #1 retailer for selling music. Show me a Best Buy in the hood. So the music that you say you're making, the issue is not your music, it's your strategic plan. You're not talking to the right people.
Hello? What's going down, fellas? I'm Alex Walker. Back my mic up. With the way profits are being lost, like how you toss profit motives and labels don't want to invest in these artists and everything, can you guys speak on the importance of we as a people in this industry investing our own time and money in ourselves versus trying to invest it in, whatever those rich Italians and Jews are investing in?
Who has a foreign car?
I do. Drop a phone call. 3 of them.
Nah, baby, millionaire.
Why do y'all buy American?
Because it lasts longer.
So when you say the people that's controlling it aren't investing, it's like, did you give them a reason to invest? Whether if they're black, white, brown, Jewish, Asian, or whatever, at the end of the day, it's about the green. Are you going to make me money? If I give you this $5, or am I going to get $25 back off you? No, I can't deal with you. Man, make it about the business. That's why you in the ERN program. Make it about the business. You will understand why certain people are where they're at because they made it about the business. They just so happen to have talent. Jay-Z is a hell of a businessman. He just so happens to have talent. You know what I'm saying? So you'll be able to make the money, but if you're not investing in yourself, Matthew Knowles has no reason to invest in you. What is he going to get out of it? He don't know. You're not a proven product. Too many of the urban artists, like you said, you got a laptop, a USB mic, your homeboy making beats, then the same dude that made the beats did the mixing and mastering, and your girlfriend is doing your Twitter and your Instagram, but you're asking these people to invest millions of dollars, man hours, time, effort, and energy into you. What you put into it? That's the next question.
Okay. No, I'll make it real quick.
Okay.
Y'all have to come up with a strategic, I keep using that word, approach to this in a very self-made environment. Like there are no more independent labels. I mean, there are, but not really, not the kind that we're talking about. There's not enough money into it for somebody like me to invest in you right out the rip, to take that long ride. I call it the long ride with you, between me, you getting started and you, getting where you want to go. So the internet and technology has made it, the market is very cluttered. There's too many people out there. It's 99 cents. When we were doing, singles weren't selling like that. So we sold, it was $7 from the distributor, $10 in the store, and that was on CDs. So it was easy for me as an entrepreneur to come up with a business model that worked. But right now with single sales, and I would have to spend the same amount of promotional money on a single. But at the end of the day, I was getting $7 from the distributor, but now I'm gonna get about 60, 70 cents. And it's gonna be everywhere for free, and on all type of people mixtapes and everything else. So it's kind of, you're at a big disadvantage when it comes to getting early front-end investment money to get involved with what you're doing. You're gonna have to evolve your situation a lot on your own, and you're gonna have to get down the road, and the numbers gonna have to make sense for anybody to invest in you. It's all about numbers. And I'm gonna put some money out there that ain't gonna come back. So it's up to you to figure that out. That's what this is all about.
That's a good answer. Good answer.
I just want to ask a question. How many artists do we have in the room? If you are, stand up for a second, if you're artists. I just want to see if you're artists, okay? All right, you guys sit down. How many songwriters do we have in the room? Okay. How many producers do we have in the room? Any type producer. How many video directors, or those that aspire to be a video director? How many of you are in the room? How about on the business side, managers, or you aspire to be a manager in the room? How many? I better see y'all in my damn class. How many do we have that one day want to own a record label? Stand up. Okay. So everybody sit down. We've heard some really, really good things, and I'm all about strategy, so I'm glad we're saying that word. I go all over the world, and I do this. The answer is in the room. The answer is always in the room. See, the answer is not us. 2 hours from now, we're going to be doing our thing. 2 hours from now, we won't even be thinking about this. The answer is in the room, because if I was an artist, and one of you were an artist, and you saw a songwriter stand up, and then you saw a producer stand up, and you saw somebody that's a video director, somebody that wants to be a manager, shame on you if you don't get their contact. Shame on you if you're not screaming here, why don't we have a recording studio the students can use? Shame on you for not rolling up to Provost Ward's office or the president and saying, why don't we have a studio? We got an ERM, but no studio. The answer is in the room. You can't be passive about that. Don't always look for us to help you. You guys have all the tools right here at TSU to make some things happen. You have right here at TSU the tools to make some things happen. Don't lose sight on that.
You know, let me just say this too, just to echo.
A applause would have been damn nice.
You do. You have it. You have it right here. You have it. You have it in this room, and you have it with the seasoned staff also. You know, we not to toot horn or anything like that, but we're talking about getting that information, getting that knowledge in these courses and in the entertainment degree program, entertainment recording and management. And that's what I always say in my classes. I always talk, really talk about, it's not just that one revenue stream of selling that album, or it's not just another of doing that show. You're going to talk about, we're going to talk about the entire gamut. That's the recording, management, production, publishing, and merchandising side. Those are the major revenue streams right there. Okay, my entertainment law background is that of 20 years, and I signed a young star coming right out of law school and did a huge deal with Sony, and then after that doing deals with Kiki, D-Rec, almost everybody at this panel, producing albums, the whole 9 yards. And I don't have to really say one word because the phone rings when it's time to do a deal. It's just that simple. I don't have to hold myself out as doing it. I come back to give the knowledge to you guys, but it's in the classroom. And you need to understand the business, 90% business, 10% talent. Your longevity, now how good are you? When you have that talent, that's your longevity. But you need, in order to break through, you need to understand the business, okay? So don't forget, you do have everything right here in this room, but enroll in the class also and get the knowledge with the teachers, the professors that are right here in front of you. We do, between us, have it all to take you to another level. I just kind of wanted to interject and throw an infomercial in right there, but for ERM. But let's go ahead and we're almost to the wrap-up phase. We have a microphone in hand right there. Shoot.
Professor Knowles. Hello.
Yes,
all right. Professor Knowles, you mentioned creativity. How does an artist who's creatively adept, who also has business acumen, merge the two? Should we separate that or try to coincide with both skill sets and be the person who does it all?
You know, I'm old school, and I'm ADD. I try to do one thing and be really, really, really good at it. And once I master that one thing, and I feel I'm really, really good at it, then I move on to a second thing. It's very hard to be great at 2, 3 things. Focus on that one thing first and be good at that.
We have a couple more questions. This is the last question right here.
Okay, then I'll make it good. Last night I was just watching Joel Osteen, and Joel Osteen was mentioning how sometimes your enemy is what sparks your growth. And so I want to ask you guys, what was the first struggle that sparked your hunger, if that makes sense? Yeah?
That was a good question. That was a great question. Really, the first struggle for me was, like he said, we were a million miles away from New York, the capital of music. We was a million miles away from California, which was having a great upstart with Ice Cube, and they were taking over the music. So my first thing was, my first album, and it was my greatest album. It's the best one I've done. It sold the most. Well, not sold the most, but it's sold the most inside for and done the most for me, which was Don't Mess with Texas. And the title for that album was to show people that Texas music could make a change in the music game. So that was my first struggle of trying to get people to understand that people really, you know, sometimes people think that's all we have is about the cars and swinging and banging, and we have much more, you know what I'm saying? You know, Scarface was a platinum artist, and that's really all that they pretty much knew at the time. You know, Beyonce and them was doing something different in R&B. So my first struggle was to make people understand that Texas did have a shot, even if it was independent or major. Texas did have a shot at, you know, making a run in the music game. And 10 or 15 years later, I think we've done great. We have room to grow. But that was the first enemy for me, was just letting people know that being an artist from Texas, I was, you know, a lot of people grow up from Texas, and the first thing you want to do is run away from here, you know, because they don't think we had a shot or the opportunity to get it done. So I named my album Don't Mess with Texas to let people know I was going to rep this at no cost, and it didn't matter what you had to say. I was going to stand my ground and make sure that this Texas music become well known. So that was one of my first enemies right there, just getting, you know, this state and this area to be understood as great artists are here too.
Listen, at that point, because we have time constraints, we're gonna stop it right there. But I want you guys to give the panelists a huge round of applause. This was outstanding. This was outstanding. We really thank them from the bottom of our hearts.
Hey, can I give my email out real quick to any guys that might be interested in doing some networking with me, like Mr. Noel said? It's DERRICKDIXON@gmail.com.
Yeah, we're interns, right?
Yes, and we're DERR Derek Dixon, DIX. Yeah, Derek Dixon @gmail.com. Yeah, and then
Can we wrap up officially?
yeah, DERRICK
Wrap up, yeah.
DIXON. Derek Dixon @gmail.com.
Oh, we got another panel. Boy, this is it. Hey, I hate to cut it off, but hey, good things come to an end, but maybe we can do this sometime in the near future. Thank you guys again for coming out. We really appreciate you. Another round of applause for the panel.
So we have another panel in 2 minutes. We're going to take a 10-minute break. We have another panel with Ron Hurd, VP of Def Jam. We've got Mike Barnes, former A&R for Atlantic Records. We have myself. We have John Tucker, Dr. Teeth, music video